Welcome to the Ultimate Art Director Q&A. I'm Kevin, a creative director in the advertising space, and my hope is that this jam-packed everything you ever wanted to know about becoming and being an art director video will hopefully provide you with clarity, with an action plan, with a bunch of rando facts and opinions that you as a potential or current ad pro can hopefully put to good use. Maybe you're just getting started at the career exploration phase of your journey, seeing if this path is something that you could see yourself doing. Maybe your eyes are already on the prize and you just want some, tips and tricks to help you get there. Hell, maybe you've already snatched the title and you're just looking for some ways to make your life easier. Rest assured, with the culmination of juicy questions that I've pulled from across my channel's videos, I think we've got a little something for everybody. But I won't lie to you, this is gonna be a longer one. So if you're invested, hit the bathroom, grab some water, and get comfortable. And if you're short on time and just want to jump right to the questions you care about, I've placed quick links to those in the description below. Without further ado, the Ultimate Art Director Q&A session starts in 3, 2, question 1. What does the emergence of Midjourney and other AI mean for the art direction position? It means we're all screwed. Next question. No. This advance in technology isn't scary, it's exciting. See Midjourney, DALL-E 2, ChatGPT, and other AI systems as tools. Tools that we can harness to make ourselves more efficient, more productive, more creative. Think of a world where you can much more quickly bring your ideas to life. I mean, advertising is already a big game of speed, putting out content quickly and pivoting based on results. And now we're being gifted time to play, to experiment, to be more creative. Instead of spending days storyboarding, creating concept art, searching mindlessly through stock photography websites for that perfect image, we can once again put our time and energy into the thing that matters most, strategically solving our clients' problems in a way that will connect with our audience. And most importantly, pushing ourselves artistically to create rather than just produce. Be a pioneer. Our job is to adjust. Think about it. The role of an art director has consistently changed since its conception. Do you think the madmen of the 1960s created banner ads, animated social posts, or designed in 3D? It is up to us to stay hungry, to stay diligent, to change with the times. Question 2. What is a cheaper alternative to studying art direction or graphic design in college? Everybody's individual situation is different, is unique. That's no surprise. Not everyone has the means, the access, the ability to enroll in a 4-year degree or pay for a seat within a prestigious portfolio program. But, and listen closely, that is no longer a barrier. And I have a large sample size of colleagues and industry friends to prove it. I mean, why should someone dig deeper into debt before they have a shovel of a job to dig themselves out of it? So, for those who need to navigate their journey with budget and time in mind, here are some alternative options to learn design and build your first portfolio. 1. Take affordable online courses over Adobe's Creative Suite and other design-oriented programs through Skillshare.com, Domestika.org, LinkedIn Learning, or right where you're watching this video, good old YouTube. These online resources have hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of instructional courses from introductory all the way through advanced to help you go from novice to kind of sort of familiar to pro. But learning the computer skills is just half the puzzle. Putting those skills to practice and building ads that will make up the contents of your portfolio, that thing you need to get a job, is the other side of the coin. So where do you go to find the assignments and projects to show future employers that you've got the chops? First, well, I'll recommend my book, Breaking into Art Direction, available on Amazon for $19.99. I put my blood, sweat, and tears, seriously, into outlining a comprehensive portfolio school-like curriculum to help you develop ideas, build campaigns, and take part in a slew of design assignments to push your thinking, your design ability, and your portfolio of work. Check it out. But it doesn't all have to be practice. You can also try your hand at taking on freelance work, some real projects for smaller companies to test drive your skills and get a taste of the job that you have your eyes set on. Many smaller companies and startups are looking for design solutions that won't break their bank. So they're willing to hire those with a little less experience. And that's where you come in. Starting out, I took all sorts of projects with little to no compensation. Basically, working for a little to learn a lot. You can find these real world projects at Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, and freelancer.com. When I was starting out, I would use Upwork to find small projects and then reinvested the money that I made from them into expanding my Adobe subscription, getting other programs, and paying for my Skillshare membership. Essentially letting learning turn into more learning. By working hard and getting crafty with the resources at your fingertips, you can be just as competitive, if not more so, than those who took the traditional schooling route. Question 3, should you be a generalist or a specialist? Basically, should you explore a variety of crafts like illustration, animation, UX design, 3D, etc., or specialize and master a singular skill? I would say that an art director is more of a generalist. Someone who experiments with a variety of crafts and skill sets to widen their design arsenal so that they can execute a broader range of projects based on their clients' needs. With that being said, as you evolve as an art director, you will probably start to specialize in a few areas that you're passionate about. It is extremely common for more senior level ADs to have some general know-how across the design landscape, with some areas here and there in which they double down. Ultimately, I think that's what you want. Dabble in a little bit of everything and play a little more in the places where you have the most fun. Question 4, what is the best way to get your foot in the door? That's the question, isn't it? How do you get noticed and considered for an interview? The answer? Be like an ad. An advertisement's purpose is to get noticed and get someone to act on it, to buy in. If nobody sees it, if it's not very good, the ad won't get the results that it's looking for. An ad is only successful if it has two things: awareness and effectiveness. And that's exactly what you want too, right? You want to get noticed and you want your portfolio to be good enough to prompt action, to get a recruiter to pick up the phone. Your portfolio is the thing that will get you in the door. So once it's looking good, send that portfolio into the world everywhere to fend for itself. From a recruiter's inbox to an agency website's contact form to the LinkedIn of a creative director, get that baby places where people will see it. And if they're not hiring, cool. Ask if they could give you feedback on your portfolio instead. Keep bettering it until it breaks down the door all by itself. Now, there are other ways to stand out in the sea of potential candidates. It's a creative industry, so sometimes you gotta get creative. Good example, once upon a time, there was a dude named Chase. He wanted to work on the Sprite account at Whiting Kennedy. So he put together a hilarious rap video over his love for Sprite and his job qualifications.
See, I really love the brand and I love the beverage. And I'm hoping that these corny bars will give me leverage.
He got noticed. He showcased his skills. He got the gig. Just don't be weird. Somebody once sent a box with a prop foot in it, hoping to get their foot in the door. Yeah, that one didn't work. A little persistence, positivity, and patience will get you there. Promise. Question 5. What else can I be doing while getting my degree to put myself in a better position to get a job after graduating? After purchasing my book, of course, it comes down to 3 things. 1, continue learning. 2, continue to build your portfolio. 3, continue to make connections. Out of school tutorials to improve your Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, 3D knowledge. Pushing your thinking to create smart ad campaigns to fill your port. Joining ad clubs, social media groups, and reaching out to pros on LinkedIn for their advice. How much work are you putting in? Are you doing things that your classmates aren't to get an edge? Increase your own chances. I've had people reach out to me a year before graduating to pick my brain for advice. When graduation came, they reached out again, showed their passion and fire for the industry, and guess what? I work with one of them today. Do all the little things. They work in a big way. Hey Kevin, I've been working in advertising for about a year now as a junior art director. I actually bought your book, which has been helpful in understanding the creative process and even having thought starters when concepting. But after a year, I still struggle with streamlining my thoughts from insight to high-level ideas. The term high level is used a lot, to be honest, and it can be confusing. How specific am I supposed to be? High level does get thrown around a lot. First things first, please be kind to yourself. Ideation and developing ideas is the hardest part of our job. Sometimes you'll come to that game-changing big idea immediately, and sometimes it just takes some real time. High level typically just means that your idea doesn't have to be fully baked. Your design, the look of your idea, and all the ways in which you might execute it can be very work in progress, extremely rough. I'd say throw your insight and idea on a slide, coupled with some supporting imagery, maybe some sketches, and you should be good to go. Now, transforming your insight / your strategy's aha moment into an idea, how it will actually come to life, can be challenging, but nailing down your insight is the harder part. Then you have a focus. You have a starting point to branch all of your ideas off of, and that is what you should do. Spend the time necessary to come up with ideas, lots of them, without being picky, until you land on some smart shit that you sorta kinda like. Trying to streamline that part of the process is counterintuitive, because most of those unique, not first thought out ideas usually come when your brain is spent, when it's thought through just about everything else. Of course, we would like to get the idea as quickly as possible, but the real gold, typically, is something you have to dig for. Question 7. As an AD, I struggle with finding images for the deck. Where do you find stuff besides Pinterest and Instagram? And when creating a deck, what are some do's and don'ts? Creating decks, presentations in which you will sell in your work to your clients are extremely important. A bad deck can kill a great idea before it ever gets a shot. To get amazing deck imagery, check out unsplash.com and pexels.com. You can't go wrong with their super high-res imagery that is free to download. For do's and don'ts on creating decks, I recommend spending most of your time on the story and flow of information. Let each and every slide build off the one before to take your client on a journey, revealing key information, strategy, and insight that will have them nodding before they even see the work. Keep your page design relatively consistent, but don't be afraid to break template. Make sure you're showcasing your work in the best light. Keep the amount of content to a minimum. If you want to learn more on this, feel free to check out my video titled How to Present Creative Work Effectively. Hope it helps. Question 8. How do you avoid burnout as an art director? Burnout is real. It's great that most of us get to do something for a living that we love, but everyone has their breaking point. It's important to identify when burnout is on its way so that you can be proactive about taking care of your mental health. I mean, we can't be creative if our minds are completely wiped and unmotivated, right? Here are some things that you can try on for size to beat burnout. 1, take breaks and disconnect. It's okay to step away from your work and take a much needed breather. Take a walk, grab a snack, play with your dog, lay in the fetal position, crying on the floor. 2, set boundaries. Something that I honestly need to get better at. Protect your priorities. Know when to say no. Favors and people pleasing are fine from time to time, but make sure you're maintaining proper balance away from your desk too. Your time is precious. Cherish it. 3, sleep. Rest. You need it. Being creative is tiring. 4, raise your hand. Do not be afraid to ask for help, to get support. It doesn't make you a weak or less competent employee. Trust. Question 9. What are some resources you use to make your job easier? New resources are popping up every single day to help us work smarter rather than harder. Remember that AI stuff I talked about? Try to keep tabs on them and use them to help you excel. Resource rapid fire. Go. To create quick and easy mockups, throwing your designs into real situations, use Graphic Burger and Mockup World. For picking and exploring color palettes, check out Adobe Color, Color Hunt, or Coolers. For free fonts, hit up Lost Type, All Words, or Defont. To visualize your copy utilizing all the fonts on your machine, head over to wordmark.it. And if you're, a little jelly of a font that you see and want to know what it is, take a picture or a screen grab, bring it into What the Font, and find out. Clip Drop is also pretty sweet, allowing you to upscale those annoying pixely images. And yeah, those are just a couple lurking at the top of the noggin. If you're hungry for more, be sure to check out the Art Director Toolbox by Jason Murray. Can't stress that enough. It's a free collection of resources just like the ones that I mentioned to make your creative lives a hell of a lot easier. Question 10. Where do you go for inspiration? Inspo. As creatives, we want it. We crave it. We've gotta have it. If you spend all your time designing in a vacuum, you will miss out on broadening your creative mind. Take a look around, analyze, learn, get inspired by the groundbreaking campaigns. unique design styles, and technological trends happening in the advertising world around us. To view best-in-class work, scroll the archives of Love the Work More, check out the current campaigns being highlighted over at Ad Age and Ads of the World, marvel at the vast amount of different design styles on Dribbble and Behance, and immerse yourself in the forward-thinking ad innovations of The Verge. The more inspiration you take in, the more successful you'll be at stretching your creativity and design capabilities. Question 11, how do you keep your skills current or growing with the trends? There's so much to keep up with. I think this is a great continuation off the previous question. The answer? Consume, create. Consume, create. Can you guess what I'm gonna say? Absorb, make. You thought you had me. Continue to keep your eyes on areas of inspiration and apply the things that you see to your own work. And it doesn't have to be overly time consuming. You don't gotta keep up with everything. Look, we're human. Days are short, time is limited. Start by just following a few advertising and design social accounts. That way inspo will just randomly pop up on your feed from time to time. Passively absorb it. Occasionally browse some sites and magazines to see what new news is happening out there in the ad world beyond your computer. Observation and experimentation are surefire ways to keep your skills and thinking abilities ahead of the curve. But be cool with not knowing everything. Know just enough to be dangerous. Question 12, what is the best way to stand out at your agency? Once you break into agency life, you'll look around and you'll see talent absolutely killing it around every corner. It can be a little bit intimidating, and playing the game of comparison is not the move. To stand out, here's what you do. Work hard by bettering your skill sets and tackling each project to the best of your ability. Show effort. Ask for more. Seek out opportunities to show what you've got, whether that's on your designated team or another team at the agency that just needs some extra help. Look for gaps in your agency that you can help fill. Is there a skill at your agency that's lacking or scarce? For example, maybe you take a crack at 3D because that skill set is high in demand and not everybody at your agency can do it. Regardless of natural skill, effort, fire, and hunger will get you noticed every time. Question 13, where can I go to find art director job postings? Once that portfolio of yours is in tip-top shape and ready to roll, you can seek out ad shops on Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Dribbble, Talent Zoo, Indeed, Creative Pool, Coroflot, or hell, even the Google. Just type in art director jobs and your location. Make sure to check out popular and less popular agencies alike and see what job descriptions speak to you and where you're at in your career. Sometimes the smallest agencies still have a ton of opportunity. Don't shy from them. Then it's all about applying, tracking, securing. Keep improving, stay persistent, and you will land one. You've got this. Question 14. You mentioned in a previous video to avoid putting commercial scripts in your portfolio. What if instead of a script, you show a storyboard? Is that still too student-y? Unfortunately, storyboards and scripts both A, shows that the idea was never executed, was never made, that it died on the paper. And B, are very time-consuming for a time-conscious creative director who's reviewing your book. They will only be giving your portfolio 5 minutes of attention max. One single storyboard with dialogue and action descriptors can take that in full. I strongly suggest just biting the bullet and making the video real in the best way that you can. Dig deep, use your resources, grab some friends and family, and just try to put something together. I've seen some pretty spectacular student-made videos. Quality look commercial ready. Matter of fact, there was one student video that had the place completely buzzing at the last American Advertising Award Gala. Anyways, if that's not possible and you really want to show the storyboard, just make sure that it is truly groundbreaking and innovative. So worth the reviewer's time. Question 15, what makes an ad or a design good? Great question. Advertising and design are extremely subjective, making it extremely difficult to know if you've nailed it until your work is out there in the world and people respond to it. When that happens, you'll be met with a sea of differing opinions. Some will love it, some will hate it. But just remember that you're not trying to appease everyone, just your target market, the people whose attention you're trying to capture, who you're trying to connect with. And that connection can come in many forms, from getting someone to just think about your brand positively to making an actual purchase. If you want examples of good ads, start by taking a gander, never used that word before, take a look at advertising award annuals. Study the winners. They're considered good by at least a room full of judges. Check them out. With design, I recommend getting familiar with basic design principles. Rules that will at least provide you with a guideline to what is aesthetically pleasing. But please feel free to break the rules. That's where creativity reveals itself. Question 16, how many hours does an art director work? I wish that I could give you a definitive answer, but the truth is that hours differ drastically from agency to agency and fluctuate a lot depending on where you live. I know many creatives who work the 40-hour work week. I know those who work 60 plus. You just gotta seek out the place that's best for you, depending on what you value. Maybe you want a lot of hours, seeing them as a way to grow more quickly earlier in your career. Maybe work-life balance is more your jam. For me personally, hours ebb and flow. Some weeks I am absolutely slammed, and then other weeks are a little bit more manageable. It really just depends what projects find their way on your plate and how quickly you can come up with ideas and designs to execute them. Or maybe you have some temporary added responsibilities, like helping out on a new business pitch. Only you know your personal situation. So my best advice is to find a situation in which you'll be happy. Question 17, what is the promotion ladder of an art director? Like, what job do you start and end with in the career? Path goes junior art director, senior art director, associate creative director, and technically you could go even further to group creative director, executive creative director, chief creative officer. I have a video on the channel called Exploring the Art Director Career Path if that's something that you want to dive a little deeper into. Question 18, how do you approach interviewing a potential candidate for your team? When interviewing 80 candidates, I interview on a case-by-case basis depending on our team's needs. Before the interview, I do a pretty thorough scan of their portfolio to make sure that their skill sets are what our team and our client are looking for. Basically meaning that if a candidate is brought in for an interview, chances are that we already believe that their skill set boxes are checked, making the interview more about who they are since we already know what they can do. So I approach it extremely casually in order to find out the following. Would they click with the current chemistry of our team? Would they be kind and easy to work with? Would they work hard? And would they give a shit? And through a series of questions slightly deeper than what is your greatest weakness, I can usually form a pretty solid assessment if this thing is gonna work out. And here's a spoiler for you. I pick passion over skill set every time, because one of those two things can't be taught. Question 19, where can I go to find a copywriter to work on ads with in order to build my portfolio? MakeAdsWithMe.com is a great place to head to in order to hunt down partners to collab with. There are also some great junior creative chat rooms on the Fishbowl app where you can also connect with like-minded, fresh to the game partners. Cheers to you for seeking out a partner. More brains are better than one. Best of luck. Question 20, is it harder to break into advertising at an older age? I don't think so. As long as you've got the talent and a portfolio that proves that you have what it takes, you shouldn't run into any issues. The work is the work is the work. Now with that being said, career switchers still have to start at the bottom, so you probably wouldn't be able to jump past junior art director to a more senior level position based on age or experience in an unrelated field. The agency world does skew young overall, but it's just as possible to break in. I've worked with and even managed plenty of art directors who are a couple decades older than me. Question 21, how do you know if art direction is right for you? I dig deeper into this topic within my book, but to sum it up in a crisp and simple answer for you, do you enjoy it? We work most of our lives. Might as well be happy with what it is that we're doing to capture that paycheck. And the only way to find out if it's something that you might enjoy is to try it, taste it. There is no better time to dabble, research, try making ads, learn the software, watch more videos on this channel, all in order to find clarity around if this career is one that you can get behind. The more data you have, the more informed you'll be at making that decision. Last question. Question 22. What is a pivotal moment you've had in your career? Maybe it was one night you had a breakthrough idea, or the time you decided to call up a mentor to ask something, or maybe you went out on a limb scared as hell and it ended up being great. Okay, let's see. So there are many moments that I find memorable in my career thus far. Late night rallies before new business pitches, the buzz of full-fledged photo shoots, attending conferences to sharpen my skills, working in a locked room guarded by security leading up to the launch of the latest Samsung smartphone. But those, as memorable as they were, are fleeting, a little less significant. My most pivotal moment the moment that changed the trajectory of my career, was the moment I realized what I truly valued out of my job. For the longest time, my goal was to continually push myself, my skill sets, my career forward, to climb the ladder and make awesome work that would get noticed. I hit senior art director. I won some awards at a national level. I accomplished what I set out to do, and I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't fulfilled. Then I helped a fellow colleague of mine achieve those very same things. Set up a growth plan to help them get promoted. Work together to help them win their own awards. They did it. That was everything. My whole career had been about me, how I can be better, how I can improve, how I can achieve. And in a single moment, my mindset flipped to focus on what I can do to make my teammates better. That's the moment that I knew I was ready for a leadership position, one in which my job responsibilities would align with what I valued most. And what do you know? A YouTube channel, a book, and becoming a creative director later, helping others achieve their creative dreams is what I do. And I could not be more happy about it. And that's all the questions for today. I know this video is a longer one. I won't take up any more of your time. Comment below if you are a trooper and made it to the end, or if you have any questions of your own. I appreciate you for watching. Until next time, this is Kevin, signing off.